Today I'm going to show you a full body mobility routine that you can go through at home. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's Blake Bowman here with GuerrillaZen Fitness, and in today's video I'm going to show you a full body mobility routine for your joints that you can go through at home. So really, it's important to move all of your major joints and even the smaller joints every day, right? It doesn't have to be loaded up with resistance. You don't need to be lifting weights. You just need to be moving the joints, right? With regards to joint mobility, if you don't move it, you lose it is very true, right? As Kelly Starrett, physical therapist, always says, motion is lotion. In order to bring mobility to a joint, all you need to do is just move the joint. Okay, you just produce movement in the joint, and that causes it to gain mobility. Okay, so what I've put together here is a little full body movement routine that you can go through every day at home. It'll take about 10 minutes, and basically what this does is it promotes optimal mobility in all of the major joints of the body that typically are missing it. Okay, so all you need is your body to do this in some open space, and that's it. So let's get started. All right. So, sorry if you guys can't see me here, but basically this is an ankle mobilization with an activation, okay? So this brings more mobility to your ankles, and it also teaches the muscles of your ankles to keep that mobility and function in that new range of motion. This is an awesome mobility exercise because it combines an activation with a mobilization. Just trust me, if you have stiff ankles, try this. Put your heels against the wall, okay? Keep your upper back flat against the wall, your entire back actually flat against the wall. Keep your heels planted, okay? Your heels have to stay planted. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep your back against the wall, you're just gonna slide down the wall, send the knees forward in front of the toes, and then come back up. That's it, okay? So basically, the exact opposite way you want to be performing squats. This is how you do this, okay? What we're doing is we're trying to get the toes, we're trying to get the knees as far in front of the toes as possible. That motion in the ankle joint is going to help to mobilize it, but we're also training muscles in the front of the shin here called the anterior tibialis. This muscle is actually a dorsiflexor of the foot. So strengthening this is only going to help you retain the mobility that you get from this exercise. You should feel a burning in the anterior tibialis, these frontal shin muscles, as you perform this. But this is really how you do it. Crank this out at home, and then we'll move on to the next movement. All right, so this is gonna be a full squat. Hips are gonna be fully flexed, and we're gonna add in a thoracic rotation with this. This is really good for the hips, the ankles, and the upper back all at once, okay? So if you have stiff ankles like me, you might have to kind of hover off the ground with your heels, okay? But ideally, you want your heels to stay flat on the floor the entire time while we're performing this. Try to keep that spine in an upright and neutral position while we're performing it as well, okay? But that might be very hard to accomplish if you have stiff ankles, if you have a history of injuring your ankle like I do. Your heels might lift off a little bit, which is okay, but just try to strive to keep the heels on the ground. But basically, we're gonna get in this position, hold that neutral posture. One hand's gonna stay on the ground, and we're gonna twist open like this. Then we're gonna come back down, okay? Arm right back in the center, all the way up and down. You're trying to produce motion in the upper back and twist from the upper back, okay? We're gonna do a couple reps that way, a couple reps this way before we move on to the next one. Keep your core a little bit braced here. Also, don't just take the shoulder back as far as you can. If this is hurting the front of your shoulder, you gotta plug that shoulder blade in like this. Keep it back. All right, this is a deep squat with external rotation of the femur assisted with the hands, okay? Again, strive to keep the feet flat on the floor, the heels rather. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get one arm and you're just gonna push that leg out like this, okay? We're stretching the adductors, we're mobilizing the hip here, promoting more external rotation of the hip. We're gonna do that side, and then we're gonna do this side. Note any differences from left to right, right? Try to fully extend that arm too. This is first thing in the morning here. It's like 8 in the morning. I just got out of bed like an hour ago, so I'm pretty stiff, but you get the idea. This next one is gonna be a deep squat with internal rotation of the femurs, okay, the hips. Basically sit, stay in this position, okay? Put your arms back here for support. Kind of pull the toes up on one foot, and then drop that knee down, and then back up. Drop that knee down, back up, drop that knee down, back up, and we're gonna do the other side. Okay? We're focusing on all of the areas that typically are missing mobility in this sequence that I'm showing you here today. So this what I just did is the second exercise that you're going to perform. For this next one, this is just a hip extension stretch with a glute activation. So it's a mobilization plus an activation exercise, which are always the best if you can find them. It's very similar to the ankle one that I showed you at the beginning, in that it's a combination of the two. Basically, this stretches the hip flexors, activates the glutes at the same time. Put your back leg down like this. Front leg is bent at 90 degrees, hands on the knee. You're going to squeeze the glute, the butt cheek of the knee on the side of their body with the knee that's down. You're going to squeeze that butt cheek really hard and send your hips forward, keeping the abs tight the whole time. Squeeze the butt cheek, send the hips forward. Squeeze the butt cheek, sends the hips forward, and that's pretty much how you do it. 10 reps of those on each side. This next one is a cat-cow with a focus on the thoracic spine. So if you've ever done this in a yoga class, kind of looks like this. You're arching and then rounding your back. Okay, when you're doing this in a yoga class, you kind of just do it throughout the entire spine. I want you to try to emphasize the upper back. So do your best to just produce motion in the upper back. It's going to be hard to do. You're going to move your whole spine regardless, but be aware that we're trying to mobilize the thoracic spine, the upper back here. So give a little bit of extra mental focus and energy to producing that motion in the upper back. You're going to do this. A flexion and extension like this is 1 rep. We're going to do a little bit of internal and external rotation of the humerus here, the arm bones. This one's super easy. Arms out to the side. Start with the palms down. Twist the palms up, and then twist the palms down. And then each time you do this, try to progressively rotate even more so that your thumbs, when you're rotating in, are like pointing back behind you. And when you turn your hands up, you want your like pinkies almost facing up. Okay? Really try to intensify the rotation every single time you do this, and just keep going with it. Okay? You really try to internally rotate. And when you internally rotate, when you turn in like this, do not let your shoulder push forward like that. Keep it back in the joint socket as you rotate in, okay? If you let it push forward, that's just gonna cause a whole lot of problems, joint laxity. Don't do it. Keep that arm back while you're twisting in. Try to keep it in the same position when you're twisting in as it's in when you're twisting out, and you'll be golden. Try to increase range of motion, twist a little bit further each subsequent rep. This is what I like to call forced external rotation of the humerus. Most people are stuck in internal rotation, and while it's good to still move into that, we're going to give a little bit of extra focus to stretching those internal rotators by externally rotating the shoulder, okay? The way to do that, put your knuckles like this on your head and touch your elbows together. Try to touch them actually in front of your eyes like this. What this does is it's actually twisting the arm bone, the humerus, out. As your elbows come in, the humerus is turning outwards, it's externally rotating. You'll find by doing a couple reps of this, it helps to open up your shoulders, stretch those internal rotators that oftentimes become tight. The final exercise that we're going to end with are some cervical mobility exercises. We're going to do some rotations here. Try to twist equally to the left as you are to the right. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to do any flexion or extension like this, because most people have too much of that already, but with the rotation, that's something that people are oftentimes missing. There you have it. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have and you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click that red subscribe button next to GuerrillaZen Fitness down there. Also give me a like over here, hit that button. And if you want to learn more about how to integrate corrective exercises into your workouts, then what you need to do is get my 3-day functional training split. Okay, what this is, it's a free workout that I put together. It's a week long, and basically what it has in it are corrective exercises, foam rolling, stretching, isolated strengthening of commonly weak muscles that are all designed to improve your posture, your joint alignment, and your joint flexibility and mobility. And these things are all integrated into a week-long workout that is primarily focused on helping you put on muscle and lose weight, right? So if you want a workout that's going to last a week that teaches you how to basically lose weight and gain muscle while improving your posture, while improving your joint mobility, your flexibility, so on and so forth, then you need to get this. It's free. Just click the link below in the description. That will take you to my website, or I'll ask you for your email. As soon as you enter in your email, I'll send you the workout. If you're looking for another spot to get that workout, you can click this right here. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you couldn't figure out that situation down there, click this button right here. Click that, hit subscribe. That'll subscribe you to my YouTube channel, where I upload here weekly. If you want to see another video like this one, click this right over here. That's it for today. I'll see you next time.